Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be going over two new Petite Pro palettes from VISEART. I have the Petite Pro 4, this is Apricotine, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. And then we also have the Petite Pro 5 in Soleil. I am going to do a look with both of these and I'm going to show you guys the swatches and everything else. These are out today and they are exclusive to Beautylish. I don't know the price on them because I did get sent these, so there's no price on my little doohickey right here, but I can at least show you guys the palette. So let me go ahead and start off with the one that I cannot pronounce. This coral color is giving me all the feels. I love the packaging on both of the palettes, but this color right here, just I love it. So let me show you the colors that are on the inside. So there's definitely a warm peachy type of vibe here. And the shades that are included in here are Meringue, Praline, Apricotine, Dolce, Sugared, Grenadine, Bourbon, and Mimolette. And then for Soleil, the Petite Pro 5, we have this beautiful neon yellow packaging. And these are the colors that we have inside. And just so you guys know, these pans do come out. There's little ridges right here and you can just pop them right on out. But let me go ahead and show you the swatches. We have Pastille, Taffy, Watermelon, Pastis, Bonbon, Lavender, Marmalade, and Soleil. Now, like I said, I don't know anything other than what is on this card. This is the day before the launch, so I'm not sure about the pricing or anything like that, or if these are limited edition. All I can tell you is today, if not already right now, because I know I upload pretty early in the morning for where I live, they are either already out or they are about to be out, and it's a Beautylish exclusive. Now I want to go ahead and get into the eye looks and I'll tell you guys my thoughts at the end. I'm going to start off with this look that I have on right now. Before we start both of these looks, I want to make sure you guys know that I did not set the lid. I set everywhere else, like the brow arch area, but I did not set the lid. I'm going to start off with the yellow on the outer V. I'm using a Zoeva 227. I start right on that outer corner and I'm working upwards. I want the majority of this shade to be on the outer corner and upward, but I'm going to bring it into the crease as well so that we get a seamless look. I just don't want it to be as pigmented. I'm going to take the gold shade on the lower lash line using a Royal and Langnickel BOM 48. And again, just going back and forth. I thought this would be a nice complement to the yellow up top. Going in with the matte purple on a Wayne Goss number 17, I am tapping this on the outer corner. I'm tapping it first and getting the pigmentation that I want right there, and then I'm bringing it into the crease about halfway, and then I kind of start blending and smoking out the outer corner before I again go in and add a little bit more color to the actual outer V because I want this to be pretty dark and saturated on that outer corner. With a MAC 242, I'm taking the shimmer purple on the center of the lid and tapping over the last purple that we did, and I'm bringing it all the way up to the crease, and I'm leaving the inner corner blank for the next shade that we do, which is the second shade in the top row. Again, still using the same brush. I'm bringing it on the inner corner and also on the front part of the lower lash line. I'm going to go ahead and highlight the brow arch with the first shade that we used, still using a MAC 242. Now on a Wayne Goss number 6, I'm taking the orange metallic shade on the front portion of the crease area right above the pinkish color. Now I'm going to go in with the gold. This time I'm using it wet on a Royal and Langnickel BOM 435. I'm placing this directly on the inner corner and then I'm kind of dragging it over and letting it blend out. I'm going to connect this with the same brush and the red shade wet for liner. So I'm kind of taking this back and forth, picking up some pigment, spraying it with Fix Plus, and then I am tapping this onto my lash line and connecting it to the gold shade as well. Then I finished off this look with Milk Boss liner on the top inner rim, mascara, and then I used BCC from Milk for the bottom waterline just to make sure this look was nice and bright. So I'm using the Petite Pro 4 and I'm starting off with an ESUM W21 in the Shimmer Peach shade. I'm taking that and I'm placing it all over the lid. I was really shocked by the pigmentation of this right off the bat, but I'm going in back and forth windshield wiper motions and tapping motions, and I'm going all the way up to the crease. I'm also going to take that same shade on a Wangas number 27S and I'm going to take that right along the lower lash line back and forth. Now I'm going to go in with a Sonia G Crease 2 in the top third shade. I'm blending around the edges of the lash shade that we did, as well as wrapping around the lower lash line. This color paired with that peach is just stunning. Now to add a little bit of depth to the lash line up top, I'm taking a Tom Ford number 12 and the very lash shade, and I'm working it right onto the lash line. And I'm using this dry, I'm just packing it on. With the Wangas number 19, I'm taking the metallic brown and I'm placing that on the outer corner. After I get it laid down, I start to kind of blend it out slightly into the crease, but mainly kind of smoking out that area just to add a little bit of dimension. With an ESUM W23, I'm taking the light shimmer to the brow arch as well as the inner corner, and that finishes off the look. I added Milk Boss liner to the top inner rim and mascara, and we are done. Now for my thoughts on both of the palettes. First off, the packaging kills it. I think this is so pretty. I love like the neon colors that they went with. It really goes well with the Soleil palette. Like when you open this up, the yellow and the purple complementing each other like that is gorgeous. So I'm just gonna start off with this palette. And like I mentioned before I did my tutorials, I only set the outer part of my eye. I did not set the actual lid because when I was swatching these here seem to be more metallic, and then this one and this one seemed to be a little bit more of like those shimmery ones. So I wanted to not set the lid because I didn't want to try to use these shadows wet. I wanted to see how they performed on their own, and I feel like they performed very well. I was really concerned about this purple because when I swatched it, it was a little iffy. I had to build that one up, and I did have to build it up on the eye a little bit, but it wasn't patchy. It blended out very nicely, and I got a great look with it. I am not disappointed in any of the shades. I really do like them. The yellow right here, I had no issues with either. It had nice pigmentation. I know I ended up blending a lot of color upwards, but basically I wanted to use as much of this palette as I possibly could, and I successfully used every single shade. So I just wanted to make sure that I used it and was able to tell you whether or not it was pigmented. And you could see from it being on my eye all by itself that it has pigmentation and it blends out very nicely. This shade right here as my liner I thought was beautiful. I go for this shade all the time. Like, it is my jam. I love the tiny little sparkles. I don't know that it actually comes off on camera, but there's tiny little blue sparkles in this, and I've picked up several palettes here recently that have this type of shade. The ColourPop palette has it in there. The Glitter Storm palette I think has it in there. Just several palettes, and I'm here for it. I'm all about these tones right here. I just think they're gorgeous, but I think that they did a great job on this palette. I would give this an A easily. Pick it up if you're interested in it, and I feel like they have improved their shimmers. I really think that they have been listening to their customers and have improved on their shimmer formula, because even, let me go back to this one. These shades right here that are more on the metallic side that you would find in their palettes before, they just have a little bit more bang to them, whereas before I felt like they didn't have the oomph that I wanted, and I feel like those do. Now we're gonna move on to the, oh yeah, this is the one I can't pronounce, so the peach palette. This one right here reminds me a lot of like an extended version of the daytime palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. Recently told you guys how much I loved that palette, and this shade right here, hold on, I've got this in my drawers right here. The Natasha Denona Bloom palette, this shade, I want to see what they look like side by side. This is the Duo Glow. I just got that kind of vibe whenever I was putting it on my eye. I was like, oh, it reminds me. And yeah, it's just a little bit darker and not as shiny as the Natasha Denona Duochrome. But I did not use the mattes in the look that I created, and I did that because I wanted to have a little bit more of a sheen all over the eye. This shade right here that I blended out, this one, which forgot to mention, I was impressed. Like immediately when I got it on my eye, I was impressed with the pigmentation of it. It worked so well. But this color right here wrapped around this is utter perfection, and this shade right here is stunning. Like you could probably use that as a highlighter. This one is a little bit more along the lines of what I would consider their usual metallic formula, but it worked really nice to help blend out the outer corner without it being super metallic, so it just really worked for the look. And then this right here, I know I used it to just deepen up the lash line, but it's beautiful all on its own. And I have actually played with the mattes in these outside of the look that I did for you guys, so I can tell you that the mattes are good in this, so you don't have to worry about that. But I just didn't really want to use them for the look that I created. I do want to mention that with a few shades, like some of my favorite ones, like this one right here, whenever you're dipping into it, it is a little bit crumbly and you get a lot on your brush. But for me, that works out really well, especially again on an unset eye, because it adheres and then you can move it around. Another shade that does that is that purple shade, I think. The purple shade does it a little bit, not as much as the peachy shade, and then this shade right here will kind of do it as well. It just grabs a whole lot of product, but I think that's part of the reason why you're getting so much pigmentation on the eye. If you wanted to keep that from like getting fallout, because I did get some fallout, all you gotta do is spray your brush and you would be good to go. So my verdict on both of the palettes is definitely an A. I think that they're both beautiful. This one I like a little bit more because it's just a little bit more unique and fun, but I know that I'm going to get more actual use out of this one because it's more of like the daily kind of look, and I'm going to be going for those peachy tones during the spring. I know I'm all about my cool tones right now, but I know I'm going to be going straight for those peachy tones because I love them so much. Not necessarily like orange or anything like that, but those type of peachy pink tones I think are absolutely gorgeous. So anyway, I hope you guys found this review helpful. Let me know if you guys are picking these up or if you plan on passing on them, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.